Welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast.
Kevin's eyes look insane, but he's got new hair. Virginia is a witch, and she farts in her chair. Jason is a spaz who's got an old man's ass. Welcome to the After the Show podcast.
Yeah, here we go. Welcome to the Friday KVJ After the Show podcast. Virginia's here. She is still standing after coming back from New Orleans and Mardi Gras, going hard 4 days there, then driving 12 hours, getting to bed at midnight, doing yesterday's show.
We like to call this beast mode.
Oh, my goodness.
And this weekend, you'll be feast mode.
Yeah. Angie from Hollywood gave me a little shout out for your work ethic. Besides, coming back to work basically the next day after giving birth to Rocco. Man, this girl went on vacation out of state, was grinding for the show, meeting up with listeners, being on the call for bits, taking shots of fat when she was surely already a little hungover.
It was probably good for my tummy. It helped everything pass quickly.
Although V is usually wrong about most things, you can't deny her dedication to the show. No, you're all very dedicated. Want to give V her flowers today. Absolutely. No doubt.
The people I met that came to Kimmy, my best friend's bar, for the KVJ meetup on Mardi Gras were so much fun. It was a whole crew, 2 different crews from the Pizzle.
Okay.
One was a Pizzle police officer.
All right.
She came with the whole crew. She was awesome. And the other ones were these 2 dudes that were awesome. One of them worked on yachts, and they were just like ready to party.
Okay.
It was so fun.
Ready to throw down.
Yeah, we had a good time.
That does sound like fun.
The cop was partying too.
Yeah, she was getting loose.
It's always weird to party with a cop.
She was adorable.
Because cops can drink, they're allowed to drink and all that.
Yeah.
But if you smoke weed, you're still under that.
Well,
is this guy or girl cool? kind of this kind of situation.
Look, the cops I've known, it's a job, and if it's in their jurisdiction, don't put me in a situation where this is what I'm supposed to do. You're not supposed to do that. That's why they love to go to other cities and get loose. And a lot of them don't live in the town where they work. You'll always see on I-95 a cop car from a different county.
Yeah.
That's typically either they're going to work or they're coming back from work.
And so that means if I'm in, let's say I'm driving through Broward, okay, and there's a Palm Beach County sheriff on the road, and they see me do some illegal shit, because they saw me do
They're like, hey, Jay Bird.
Yeah, are they allowed to go out of their jurisdiction and stop that because they are a cop and that's
They're
their
not
oath?
gonna mess with that. I think typically what they would do, and it might differ from cop to cop, but I think the protocol is if it looks like this person could be risking others' lives and it's that bad, they will likely call in and say, hey, I've got a car and here's the details. Somebody who is on jurisdiction, why don't you, and that'd be FHP if it's I-95 to go grab them.
If I was on the side of the road smoking some crack and the one Broward cop saw, definitely knows, he's like, all right, that looks like crack. Let me call up Palm Beach County to let them, they're probably not going to do that.
If you're not hurting someone else and it's not too egregious, I don't think they themselves would jump in and do anything. They likely are going to call it in. But if it's something where it can't wait, then they'll I'm sure jump in and do a little something.
I just don't know about these things. I like to learn.
Yeah, I think that's it.
If you're on the side of the road smoking crack, boy, things have gone wrong.
That's definitely a weekend to remember. That you probably won't remember. I don't think your memory's great on crack. I don't know. I'm not an aficionado.
Tracy sent an email. She said one of Virginia's stories from Mardi Gras, V, was filming her sister talking to a friend from inside a restaurant. And V was saying the friend was overserved and apologizing to her sister. Did V ever give the backstory of what happened, why she was apologizing?
She was sweet.
Who was this?
It was one of the nurses that works with my sister at the hospital.
Okay.
And I think that she just tried to keep up with the professionals. She was drinking with us, drink for drink. And it's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Yeah.
And if you're not able to do that all day, then you got to work in some waters along the way, which she did not.
I've seen this happen many a times where people try to keep up with the pirates, and they're not truly a pirate.
No, they're just playing pirate for the day.
And they're doing pirate-like things, and oh my gosh, boy, does it... That's happened a few times with KVJ Nationers that want to smoke with me and Denny's after an event. Like, oh man, we want to do it, and then 20 minutes later, you can't get the motherfucker off the ground. Like, oh, man.
They're paranoid.
Oh,
They're tweaking.
It's terrible. Jaber, are you going to stab me? No.
Well, this sweet nurse, and she was tiny, too. That's another thing, you know. If you're really tiny, she weighed like 110 pounds. You cannot pound all day without, you know, working in some waters. You just can't.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
but that was the thing. And she felt bad because we were at a place that we always go to, and she was rude to the wait staff. And my sister called her out real quick. My sister was like, "We do not talk like that."
No, you're right.
Because we like to come here every Mardi Gras. It's our tradition. We go there to the Windsor Court, and we have a fancy thing that we do. It's special.
Okay.
Don't come along and be mean to the wait staff. And as soon as my sister corrected her, she was apologetic.
She snapped back in.
She did, because she realized, you know, you can't be mean to the waiter and waitress that are working on Mardi Gras Day.
Right.
So that you can have fun. That is the last person we're mean to in my family.
Right. Okay. AB said, I know Virginia goes to Mardi Gras every single year. I'm a little bit ignorant about what exactly it is. Can you explain it? Like what leads up to it? Why are they doing it?
So it's a whole carnival season. It starts, you know, like a month out from Fat Tuesday. There's parades. There is a big, huge celebration. And it's all building until you get to Fat Tuesday. And Fat Tuesday is the last major celebration where you blow it all out before Lent. New Orleans is a very Catholic city, a lot of Catholic people. A lot of people blow it out on Tuesday, and then they get their ashes on Wednesday, and then you do Lent. And you are supposed to be really good. You're supposed to give up things and recommit yourself to a life of purity.
Okay.
But Fat Tuesday is like the last day where you can just go freaking nuts.
Seems like good logic.
Yeah.
That's how I was raised.
Blow it out, baby.
You blow it out. When you know you got to blow it in, you got to blow it out.
And then all of a sudden you act all sorry about it.
You go get your ashes and you repent.
Yeah. Oh, I feel like I'm always repenting.
Okay. And Jennifer wanted to know if you could share your recipe for cheese grits. She said smoked Gouda is my favorite.
Look, she made them especially for me because I was in a smoked Gouda trend during. That was my Gouda phase. Or
Gouda era.
Gouda era, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Well, you've always been a cheese era.
I've always been.
You're just a different cheese slut.
You make restaurant style grits, and that's the compliment.
So what I would do, I would tell you, don't buy the instant grits. Go buy the real deal grits. They're better. And replace where it says add water. Don't add heavy whipping cream. Add the moisture you put in, make it full fat, whatever it is. I would do lots of butter. I would do get a block of Gouda, smoked Gouda, and shave it yourself. I prefer to shave it myself. It's just better.
Shave your own cheese.
Shave your own.
It sounded so sexual I prefer to shave my own self.
Or you can let your friend stand next to you and your friend can shave it.
Okay.
If you ain't making no healthy grits. We're not here for health on these grits. We are here to have a good fuck yeah kind of time.
Yes. Do the best butter you can afford. There is different levels of butter, so get the best butter you can afford.
Oh, you had me when you said replace water with fat or cream. I think you said
cream. Yeah. Heavy whipping cream. I love it, you know. And you'll have to watch it because then you can make your grits a little bit too thick. Turn the heat down low. You don't want to burn your grits.
I was taking Hawaiian rolls and opening them up and then taking scoops of your cheese grits and then making cheese grit sandwiches and then dipping that in honey mustard. It was amazing.
You can also take little balls of cheese grits.
I'm here for it.
And you can make them into a ball. You can freeze them. And then you can bring them out of the freezer when they're frozen and you can flash fry them, batter them, and flash fried cheesy grit balls are so good.
Oh my gosh! Now that aroused me.
Okay, that got you going.
That gave me a bone piece.
Now he's ready. Now he's ready. Today, we were talking about that. Jaybird said he did not ever get aroused while getting his hair shampooed.
I really haven't.
Okay.
Not even in a massage, I've never gotten that. It can still feel good.
Yeah.
And now if you
Well,
start.
what is arousal? Is arousal always a bone piece? I would say no.
To me, it's the feeling of horniness would count as arousal.
You know you've had the feeling of horniness while you were getting a scalp massage from a hot girl who's washing your hair, and how she has to lean on you. Her boob sometimes touches your shoulder and your arm.
Okay, you're right. I blew a load when I did it. It's like I tell you, I didn't get aroused. I'm on the fucking stand over here.
Yeah.
I didn't get aroused.
Aroused doesn't always mean you got hard.
I feel like it kind of does.
You have to be hard to be aroused.
Well, you're gonna get
No,
hard.
you don't.
You're gonna get hard quickly.
We need to handle this. Suits, can you put up a poll?
If a guy gets aroused, he's not gonna stay hard very long.
Does aroused mean hard? Yes or no?
You can be aroused without being hard.
That's the beginning stages of right before the big hurricane, the boner hurricane comes up.
If you're aroused, do you always have a hard on? Ask that question, Suits. If you're aroused, do you always have a hard on?
I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is that window is not going to be very long.
You can be flaccid with arousal and not be you're not going to be penetrating anything.
No, you're right. I'll give you that. I don't even think you need a poll.
Okay.
You broke it down if that's what you meant.
Yeah, I guess that's the
I've
big
been
question.
aroused, and I don't even have a poll.
But that's different, though.
But if the shampoo girl is hot and she's like scrubbing your hair and rubbing her tits on your arm accidentally,
All I'm saying is I know the difference between being aroused and being relaxed. And I'm telling you right now, I've not been aroused by a hair thing. It's felt really good.
Yeah.
I'm sure if I thought about it, I'm like, oh man, her
Right.
titties are in my face, and holy shit.
Well, it's not your thoughts. Your thoughts are relaxation, not sex. At that moment.
Exactly.
Yeah. I would agree. I felt the same way.
That's me personally. Now, do I think there's other people that's happened to? Absolutely, yes. For the bird, though, you're asking just me. I know no one believes me either.
you are but a man.
I don't know.
You're not Superman. You're just a man.
Do you know what I'm saying? It can feel good, and you're not getting aroused.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. There are things
You
like
gaslight me into thinking I'm aroused about shit.
somebody like brush your hair or do something like that. It feels fantastic.
feels
because you're
so
not.
good.
Yeah. You're not thinking about getting it in.
Now, if we get into a bit of a more provocative situation where now I'm starting to touch, we're going to get some bone pieces. That's fine.
Okay.
I don't know, I think I have to defend this.
Well, the opinion on this, if you're aroused, do you always have a hard on? 64% said no. 36% said yes.
Yeah, it's too
So
much.
there's
It's
a
too
little
muddy.
I don't even have a dick, and I'm telling you how dicks work.
I hear you. You're right, Kevin. I was horny as a hog. Every shampooing.
So the other things we had in the raise your hand poll, because nobody raised their hand on that. Dancing naked in the last month. It was Virginia and Jaybird that are a yes on that.
Definitely. I did it at Mardi Gras.
You were naked dancing?
Where? In my sister's house. When I'm getting ready, I like to put on music. And so I dance when I'm getting ready.
Okay. And who all was there getting ready, or just in the house?
Like in the bathroom.
Okay.
Yeah.
No one's watching you.
No.
Were you getting aroused?
No, but I can tell you are.
Ever jump in a public fountain? 4 out of 5 had. Suits was the only one that hasn't. Yeah, it used to be a thing for me back in probably early 20s. And when I lived in Kansas City, it was about that era. Kansas City is the city of fountains. That's their whole thing. And so it was kind of my quest to be naked in every fountain.
That was your
in Kansas
fountain
City.
era.
Yeah, that was my fountain era. So I did that a ton. I remember one time I was also on Rodeo Drive.
Yep, I remember. I
got
was
naked in the
there.
fountain there.
Some call that the final fountain jumping.
It really was. It was really my final hurrah. I'm like, you know what? It's a well-known fountain. It's right there at the foot of Rodeo Drive. I'm like, you know what? I got one more in me. I was getting to the age where it was like, okay, you're getting out of your frat years, so one more last hurrah and call it good.
I was lucky enough to see that final.
Yeah, that's right. You were there for the final
Farewell.
hurrah. Yeah,
Your
final
farewell
time I did
tour.
that. Yeah, that was it. You guys, anything special with your fountains or just random fountains that you hopped in?
So many fountains, dog.
Yeah, random fountains.
Random fountains, all up and down this coast.
My friend used to live in an apartment complex that had a fountain in the middle downstairs, and we would always get in it.
Okay.
It was just being stupid.
Yeah, they're fun. They're relaxing. There's lights a lot of times. I get why we go in them.
People put soap in them sometimes back in my day, and then it's like a giant soapy crazy mess.
That's so 1987.
Yeah, right.
That was a big thing.
It is. Then we asked, have you ever had the police chase you? 4 out of 5 said yes. Suits was the only one that has not. Yeah, mine, a lot of them were when I was young. It was a sport we used to do. We used to do, stupid vandalizing stuff when we were teenagers, and the cops would always be chasing us. And so I don't know if you guys have had different times. It's more when I was younger, not much. I don't even know if I've been past the age of 21. I'm not sure I've really had any cops chasing me too much.
Cops chased me at the DevilTree a long time ago, but I don't think I was at the real DevilTree, and I think that might be why they were chasing me.
Okay. It was trespassing in some guy's backyard.
It was pretty much trespassing. I don't think they knew what was going on. I don't know. It turned fucked real quick.
Okay.
We talked about it a long time ago.
When were you chased by cops, Virginia?
Back in high school, we used to always go to, it was like an old abandoned pump house, kind of in the woods, but all the kids would go there. Super dangerous because you had to walk across this pipe to get to it. And if you fell, you were going to be dead. And it was like a whole wooded area, but I guess somebody had called the cops, so the cops came back there to figure out what was going on. And kids were just back there drinking and being just, derelicts. But we all took off running on foot. I remember running, and we got away. I don't know how.
I think honestly, it's tough, especially if you have kids running in all different directions.
Thank God they didn't chase me. They must have chased one of the other kids that was out there, but there was 50 kids out there.
Yeah. What we would do, we knew the storm sewer map of the city, and it was a lot of fun. What we'd do is we would jump down into a manhole. They would think they would have us, and we knew where the manhole was. And it was this one fat cop I remember that would always, his name was Donnie Shaw, and that was his whole mission, was to always arrest me. And so it was kind of a cat and mouse little game. And so he would think he had me cornered, and there was a manhole right there. We'd pop right down in it. You could hear him up there. He'd be like, whatever happened to him? And they were just like, I don't understand.
Whatever happened to that guy?
Yeah.
Where's that kid?
Yeah, right. And final one, ever been in a music video? Well, we've all been in snack pack videos, so everybody raised their hand on that. That was 100%. Is there any other music videos, non-VMK or snack pack videos that you've ever been in?
Aerosmith's Ragdoll video was shot in New Orleans.
Okay.
And they were there doing a concert at the same time. They did a lot of shots on Bourbon Street and stuff, but there's one shot where it's a crowd shot at their concert.
Okay.
And I can see exactly where I am. It's the crowd shot and I'm on the left.
Okay. So in a sense, yeah, you are.
Yeah, but you can't really tell it's me.
I
can only tell by what I'm wearing.
Closest thing I got to that is my sister. My little sister was in a Rapids commercial back in the day. That's the closest I can get to it.
That's the best you got, huh?
That's the best I got.
Is she in the jingle part?
No, she just they caught her walking out. I remember it was such a big deal in our Becky made the Rapids commercial. Holy shit, we couldn't believe it. It was a big deal in our house.
Yeah, my story is kind of like yours, Virginia. I was at a venue and they filmed a video there, and through the passing thing, I remember back in the day, I think we stopped and I could see my elbow or something like that.
Your elbow, I tell you what, there's got some heat behind it. It seems like the elbow it gets respect in this business.
Yeah, it does, no doubt.
Wasn't your elbow at Trump's wedding?
It was on Access Hollywood, and it was interviewing Billy Joel.
Yeah.
Remember how hammered Billy Joel was?
I do, yeah. Yeah, that boy, he likes his wine, I hear.
He does. I think he's cleaned up his act a bit.
Okay.
That's disappointing.
Well, he lost some weight, too.
Yeah.
You can still drink wine and be, semi-slim.
He had some health issues. He had some back issues, and he said he didn't want to. He wasn't hungry. But I still think he likes to drink a little bit.
That's good.
Oh, Virginia's very happy.
We don't want to lose any.
I hear you.
Yeah, let me see. The video that I was in, it was, there's a band called Live, and they were big in the mid-'90s, and it was a venue in Fresno, and the song was called White Discussion, and I was there, and I could find myself in the crowd.
White Discussion? Were they talking about you?
Let's talk about this white guy.
This guy's really, really white.
He's so white.
Yeah.
We got to have a discussion about it.
You know, let's pen a song.
Get a
So
tan.
white. Yeah, so
Get
white.
some melanin.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm watching it right now. Yes, I forgot about that. That was
You're
nice.
definitely in it.
Yeah, I remember at one point, I mean, it's been 25 years since I've even really thought about it.
Or is it going to be one of those shitty examples where we have to look at an Aerosmith video, try to find Virginia, and she's not there?
so
I'm watching the Aerosmith video now, and you can definitely see that parts of it were shot in the French Quarter. I'm trying to remember the part where it's a crowd shot in the concert.
Yeah, I can't find it, but it does.
You have to freeze frame it.
Yeah, it does remind me what a cool little venue that was. But yeah, that's it. So yeah, I would say I'm not anything of any significance. I'm sure a lot of people have been in crowds of different things. So.
We have a very unimpressive resume.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great.
When your elbow's leading the charge.
Not
We really
great.
got to step it up.
Yeah, we really do. So I guess we could say none of us have really done any of that.
We knew that they were going to be filming the video with the Aerosmith thing, though, and I think all of us went on purpose.
Did you like Aerosmith growing up?
Yes.
You were into
I
them.
loved Aerosmith.
That would be considered one of your favorite bands growing up?
Yes, and when Ragdoll came out, I was very much into it. So it was the big deal.
Were they too poppy for you? Did they get too poppy for you, Aerosmith?
Yeah, I think a little bit. They
Okay.
were okay. I did like some stuff, but I liked more of their older stuff that had come out when they kind of got mass appeal in the 90s. I didn't, Don't Know What It Takes is probably about the only song that I really liked. That was...
That song's awesome. That's
Yeah.
a really good song.
Yeah, Love in an Elevator was okay.
I hate that song.
Yeah,
Ugh.
I was all right with that.
I don't like Ragdoll.
But
Ragdoll.
Angel was way overplayed.
I love Angel.
Yeah.
It's pussy
So,
music.
yeah.
Pussy
I did not
soft
like the
rock.
ballad rock that was happening in that era.
There was a lot of ballad rock.
Yeah,
and a lot of
they
it was
killed the
cheap,
genre.
But it was some of it's good. I know it's not your flavor, but there's
Bands
some good
like
ones.
Bad English, yeah, they got all soft and pussy, and they were just,
did.
oh, it was terrible. Then, yeah, the kids who wanted rock were like, all right, this sucks.
Oh, I mean,
this
some-
is chick music.
Some of the worst.
And then grunge came in.
You're right, because Kiss started getting into that real pussy.
Yeah, they did a song called Forever.
It's so. I mean, Virginia. It's soft.
Bad era. Yeah. Virginia, you're saying that one of your friends has a little bit of a condom dilemma where they are finding used condoms
Yeah, so
in their yard?
it's a girlfriend of mine who lives up in the Pizzle. And I guess her neighborhood is not like a gated community or anything like that. It's just kind of a neighborhood, and not every block on the neighborhood is developed.
It's like my area,
It's like an
kinda.
up and coming, even more up and coming than yours. Yours is all developed.
Oh, got ya.
So it's like there's lots here and lots there that are like, open little wooded areas. So she was finding like condoms in her front yard, used. She was like, what the hell's going on? So she turned her cameras for her security system to, instead of being pointed at her front door, to like be pointed out to see if she could catch whoever was throwing condoms in her yard, used. And she realized it was one of her neighbors that was going in the lot across the street where it's like a wooded area and having relations. And I guess she couldn't tell on the video who it was that lives in the house, because there's a few people that live in the house, and she didn't know if it was like maybe the wife or the daughter but she couldn't figure out who it was, just that was the culprit leaving the condoms.
It was a woman though.
It was a woman.
Oh, wow.
It might be the daughter because she's doing it probably if she's underage or not supposed to be doing it, and she's probably trying to get rid of the evidence.
Well,
it sounds like rookie mistakes too.
My friend took the condoms and now is putting them on their front porch and saying, you dirty dog, if you're going to leave them in front of my house, I'm going to leave them in front of your house.
That's a bold move. Especially, you got to make sure she knows for a fact they are the ones.
I guess she said she could tell where they came from.
I don't know.
Do we have
When they came from their house, I guess she could tell.
Okay.
Now, do we have any idea about what the ages are of the daughter and the mom?
She didn't tell me that. I can ask her.
Because doesn't it sound like a teenager trying to do
That's
like,
why
sneak?
that's why I'm kind of wondering, what this might be and why that might be happening. I think if you're a housewife doing that, cheating on your husband, man, you are flying close to the sun.
That sounds so reckless.
Yeah.
Right?
So reckless.
Sounds like too much.
It sounds rookie mistakes.
Well,
over
this sounds
here.
like you. I mean, remember when you were young, you're a teenager, you don't have anywhere to go. You were trying to find any spot you could to get freaky, and
Oh yeah.
getting it on in the woods or any little place you could find was
Yeah,
about
but
all
what?
you had.
Just throwing that on somebody's yard?
It ain't right.
Well, I mean,
Like,
it's rude
or in
and
the
it's
street
terrible.
in front of somebody else's house?
That's the kind of stuff that somebody young and who doesn't give a shit would do.
He's right.
Ugh.
I think we figured out this caper.
It's the daughter.
That's what me and Kevin think. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was just kind of curious.
I might see her this weekend because I'm sure she's
Okay.
going to come up to the taste, and I'll ask her if there's any update.
If I was kind of trying to go undercover and figure out detective style, I think me and Kevin just laid out the whole profile of why they would do it.
I like
Yeah.
We
it.
got our number one suspect.
Yeah, I was just curious about the age. Jaybird had sent me something just looking at the age of consent. That's the age at which an individual can legally consent to sexual intercourse under any circumstances.
Isn't this fucking crazy? In 2024, the age of consent is still 16 in some states. Isn't that something? Isn't that weird?
Yeah, I was watching last night, Pray and Obey, or whatever it's called. It was that whole story about that leader of the Latter-day Saints sect that went real into polygamy, where like the leader of the whole thing had like 40 wives, and all the men in the whole entire thing, at least like the minimum you had was 3 wives, but most of them had like 10 or 12. Even the old guys had these young wives. It's kind of disgusting. And the cops raided the place, and they found pregnant 16-year-olds.
Gosh.
I just find it.
crazy.
There's so much complaining and calling bad behavior out in 2024, and that's one thing I don't really ever hear anyone really bitching and moaning about. The age of consent, 16 seems pretty damn young. You could be my age and go to a state and do that, and it's completely legal.
Well, keep in mind, I mean, I think what you have to do is when you look at the age of consent, it's when someone can legally consent to sexual intercourse. And in the majority of states, in 34, it is 16. But in a lot of those states, they still have caps on how old you can be with somebody. So I think they're talking about, let's say you're 16 and 17, you couldn't arrest them. They would have the ability to say, yes, I choose to have sex. I'm 16 and my girlfriend's 17. And
That's
so,
different. I'm talking about this is where old men can have sex with 16-year-olds and it be legal.
Yeah, there's 34. I don't think it means that, though. And at least, where it's 16, I think that's primarily what it means. Now, in Alabama, the minimum age of consent is 16. The minimum age of victim is 12. So a 16-year-old could be arrested for having intercourse with a 12-year-old.
But a 50-year-old could not be arrested for having sex with a 16-year-old. And that's what I'm saying. Does that seem weird?
It says here in a state like Georgia, the minimum age of consent is 16, but there is no minimum age of defendant in order to prosecute. So theoretically, it would be legal for a 24-year-old to have sex with a 16-year-old.
So am I getting this wrong then? Does Alabama mean that I think anybody at any age could have sex with 16 or above? No?
Some of what I had seen was it was capped at 24. And some of those states where they have the age of consent at 16. If you were 24 or older and you had sex with a 16-year-old, then it would be a crime. In some of those states.
I was misinformed then.
That's what it looked like to me if I read it right. And I was trying to understand. It's written in legalese, but that's what I think I was understanding. I think a lot of times the minimum age of consent, they're talking about if you're a teenager, you do have the ability to. Because imagine that. If you have a 16-year-old daughter and she's banging her 17-year-old boyfriend, and you're like going, have him arrested. In a state like Florida, you could do that. And I think maybe they could be arrested.
Well, that's what the song that Demi Lovato put out, 17 29 is all about. She was 17 and Wilmer Valderrama was 29.
Right, and I think that would violate a lot of the age of consent. Now, in Florida, age of consent is 18. So under the law, children under 18 cannot consent with an exception for 16 and 17-year-olds having sex with somebody younger than 24.
Okay,
so that's how it breaks down in Florida.
So the person explained it to me the wrong way then. So old men can't just have sex with a 16-year-old in certain states and they're getting away with it.
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, thank God.
Yeah. Under the law, children under 18. Okay, so the minimum age of victim is 16, and anyone 24 or older would be arrested here in the state of Florida.
But how those polygamy groups on the TV show last night were getting away with it is they kind of formed their own little city.
Yeah.
And then they had polygamist men running the town, like the mayor, the police, the fire department. They all had people that were in this
Yeah, right. And that's that
radicalized group.
And in most states, that's going to be a crime, thankfully, through and through. So, yeah, that's why you just have to understand. Like, for instance, in Florida, it's illegal for an 18-year-old to have sex with a 14-year-old, whether it's consensual or not. So that would be the thing. If you had an 18-year-old son and he has a 14-year-old girlfriend, be like, dude.
This is a big thing right now on TikTok, too. Girls that are, turning 25, turning 30. They're now posting their stories about how when they were 15, 16, 17, and they were dating a guy who was 25, 30, 35, and they talk about very candidly how they thought it was cool. They thought they were in this guy's like life, and he respected them and appreciated how mature they were, and they were like, wow, I was so dumb. I was just groomed.
Yeah, it is. There's unfortunately a lot of that stuff going on. But yeah, I mean, if you do look at this code, like I've got a 15-year-old son, so, kind of knowing the ins and outs of these state laws. Like in Florida, the criminal code includes a law stating that anyone 21 years of age or older who impregnates a child under 16 years of age is guilty of contributing to the delinquency of a minor. So if you have a son that would be 5 years older and their 16-year-old girlfriend, they'll be arrested for that if she gets pregnant.
I'm glad you just cleared it up for me because I thought it was something different. Thank God it's not that.
Yeah. And like I said, hopefully all states have something on that. Yeah, where you can't have a 35-year-old man impregnating a 16-year-old girl.
That's what that's why I looked it up, and I guess I didn't read it well enough because the person that was explaining it to me going, can you believe this? I'm like, I can't believe it.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I can't believe
this.
What are we doing?
Well, that's why I sent you the email. I can't believe this shit.
Yeah, and every state, like I said, is different. 34 states, 16 is the age of consent, and the rest, it is typically 18 or older. So, yeah, it's definitely got to watch them laws. Yeah, but it's always wrong for a 35-year-old to be banging a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just always make that something that is wrong. Let me see here. Got something new coming back. I don't know if you get excited by the Choco Taco. Remember when it went away? We had Choco Taco.
Yes.
Love it in texture, love it in flavor.
Let me guess, it's coming back.
It is. Taco Bell's bringing it back.
Taco Bell, we see you.
Yeah, it's going to be coming back in a new form, apparently. Now, if you don't know what a Choco Taco is, it's the waffle cone taco shell filled with ice cream and dipped in chocolate. It was introduced in 1983. In 2022, that's when they discontinued. I remember we got some Choco Tacos when it was going away. And I was
did.
It was good.
The police brought them to us, I believe.
Something like that.
I remember.
It was very official.
Well, I looked in Denny's room and I go, man, the fuzz, they got them. They got Denny's.
Right, yes.
And they were here just to drop us off Choco Tacos.
Yeah.
Very sweet police
They were the
officers.
coolest cops ever. Cops with free ice cream? What?
Now, I don't know if this is going to fly or not. The Choco Taco is going to come with chocolate, chili, or mango jalapeno dipping sauces.
Oh.
So I think Taco Bell wants to make it a little spicier, a little kick to it. I
Is
don't
it
know if
frozen?
I believe so.
I think it's just going to be a dessert kind of a dipping kind of a thing,
I don't
which
know
is
if I
big
like
right now.
I don't know if I like heat with my
I
spicy
do.
with my ice cream. With your ice cream, you do?
Yeah, I would get down with that. I like it with my margaritas, and those are cold.
There's ways I've tasted some syrups where they do the spicy, and it's got a little bit of a kick to it, but it doesn't burn your mouth, and it's sweet. I can see it working if that's your kind of thing.
Okay.
You got me all ginned up for a Choco Taco, and I get it.
I will try it.
Yeah, I'll try it.
Just because we have to know.
I like how chewy they are. I like when
it was.
they get chewy.
Yeah, it was nice.
When are they saying they're going to roll these out?
I think pretty quick. You know, when they talk about usually it's within that week. That's when they promote it. So it might be out now, and if not, I'd estimate in this next week. Are you buying or selling this? What do you think about this? Old El Paso is introducing new Cinnamon Toast Crunch dessert taco shells.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want to make, in a sense, your own Choco Taco, you could. For now, they're only available on Walmart's website, but they're going to start popping up at retailers nationwide next month for a limited time. That's exactly what that could be. You could put ice cream on that.
Oh, yeah.
Some of that like magic shell, make it nice and hard, sprinkle some nuts across that.
You could heat up, make them warm with the ice cream, with the cold and the warm together.
Can you slow it down,
there.
Kevin, when you say nice and hard for him?
Oh, my gosh,
It's just so messy.
Yeah. Not bad. Yeah, it does sound pretty good.
Sounds real good.
Yeah. So there you go. So people want to know what the Choco Taco is. Man, if you don't know, you missed out on life.
Yeah, Google it.
Yeah.
Google it, yes.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to give a nice little shout out here to a great event that's going to be going on this weekend, and the beat goes on. Heartwalk Run 5K that is going on Southwest Village Parkway in Port St. Lucie. This is going to be tomorrow morning starting at 7:30 a.m. Blair sent us this. She's a cardiology nurse practitioner at Stewart Cardiology Group in Port St. Lucie. And she's been listening forever. She was 13. Now she's 31.
Wow.
She's been to things like our Naked Mile and all kinds of stuff. So she's been around for a while, and this sounds like a very worthwhile event. So if you like to go out for a nice little 5K, go on out there and join in. So many great heart events. So thank you, Blair, for
We
the
did a
heads up on
naked
that.
mile?
It was one of the worst experiences of my life because our treadmill, it was a packed bar at Swapgrass
Oh,
Willie's.
that's right.
And the treadmill had one, you know when the treadmills get the stutters?
Had the
hiccup.
yips.
I was running the whole time with two hands covering my balls and my dong, and it kept on stuttering, and I'd fall.
I forgot about that.
No, you got super skinny for that.
I did, and
Yeah.
I guess it made it more exciting because you just didn't know if I was going to...
That's
Yeah.
right. I forgot we did that.
It was
Yeah.
so nerve-wracking. I remember when it was done, I think I was on there for a while, too. It was, good 30
It takes a
minutes.
minute
It does.
to
'cause you're
run
trying to-
naked.
Yeah, I remember getting behind the seats going, just give me some liquor, man. I need to relax. I didn't want to get
Yeah.
fucked up for it.
I remember that now. The naked mile, the beer mile. We did a lot of miles.
Was the Naked Mile here? I think it was. Beginning
Yeah,
of RMF.
I think so. Yeah, because it doesn't feel like it was. It was a while ago. I mean, we're coming up on 10 years here in May, so it was probably within the first year or two of being at RMF.
There was another thing that was pretty uncomfortable I had to do. I had to read from a romance novel at Dirty Martini.
I remember
but
that.
I was naked.
Yeah, you were naked.
So I had to
Yeah,
strategically in front of the whole bar
yeah.
read with my doughy ass, just like this, and read
Yeah.
a whole chat or like a paragraph, and as everyone was watching.
I don't remember this.
Yeah.
I know. Unfortunately,
He's had a few good naked ones.
it makes you really.
You did
not
that Q&A,
at ease.
stand there naked with a stripper. You did a nude interview.
That was the worst one.
Yeah.
That might have been only because. But yeah, producer Heather was in there. I think she was filming it.
Yeah.
And I did. The guys, her husband, her fiance was there. I believe she was a dancer.
Yeah.
Awkward.
Yeah.
He was there, and he was all into it. He wouldn't. It was so uncomfortable. That's still on our KVJ. I believe.
Yeah. All right. Some good stuff, man. Good times. Good times. All right, y'all. It is time for the weekend. Yeah. All right. Good stuff. Make sure you go sign up for our KVJ E-Blast. That's going to be coming out at noon on Friday. And you can get a whole bunch of stuff that's been going on the KVJ show, anything you might have missed on there, and also our weekend events. Just go to kvjshow.com. On the right-hand side of the page, you put in your email address. That's it. And you'll start getting it every single week. So check into that. Have a good weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday. Goodbye.